So for years, I've watched people spend hundreds of dollars on tarot readings or astrology readings, hoping a stranger can give them an answer to their own life. And I feel that we should change that, and instead we should start reading tarot for ourselves. So here's a story about my friend. So they go to not even you're gonna use the gender. They go to an astrologer, a Chinese astrologer, every year to get their kind of like the path read. So they're kind of okay. This year it's good for my romance. This year it's good for my what. And then a lot of times, whatever they say, it doesn't really happen anyway. From my third party point of view, it doesn't really happen. So for example, they'll meet someone who is good to them, and then they actually meet a really really bad guy. And then they have to go back to the reader, and then hoping the reader can give them some clarity about this guy who is not right for them because they have not been treating them well. So I do feel that sometimes when people go to these readers, right, and even if I don't call them fortune tellers, you are giving away part of your power. You are giving away power to them because you feel like they have the answers for you from somewhere high above, okay? And this, my friend, it also is talking about whether you go to ChatGPT for asking for advice, okay? And on ChatGPT, AI is like the most popular thing now, but going to the AI and asking them what you can do, what you shouldn't do is also part of this whole thing that I'm talking about. Stop asking AI to tell you your future. I'm actually qualified to talk about this. This is very interesting, okay? So if you don't know, I'm actually taking a Master's of Science degree in AI and innovation. So it's a part-time thing. I go to school and then they teach me about like the behind the scenes about AI and how to use AI. And I realized that AI is not actually artificial intelligence, at least what we're having now, especially if you're using some, chat-based thing that you ask questions and they spit answers back to you. It's not really artificial intelligence. There's no intelligence inside. The only thing inside is just a bunch of information that other people have said already, and then the machine thinks that if you're asking about this, beep 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 boop boop boop, let me just pull this and that and that, and then giving it to you. And it can sound very very smart. It can sound like, wow, this decision that you're giving me is great. It's because they have so much information behind them. So even for me and my cohort and my classmates, I find that when the assignment allows us to ask AI, so what will happen is that people would ask the AI something, and then whatever answer that pops out, it justifies what they're asking. So the way the questions are framed is already a bit wrong, and then they'll just take whatever it is. And the worst thing, I feel that there was a particular module where my classmates were, my group mates were saying that the AI justifies whatever they're saying, but they also never went deeper into the AI like links and stuff like that to see what is backed by it. So when you're asking AI, there's a lot of things that is very generic that's thrown out to you, but you can feel that it is very close to your heart because they know so much about you. And I think that's the scary side of things, where we lose our human abilities to make decisions, or even to just really go through whatever decisions are given to us, and then make the correct choice, instead of saying that, oh, the machine knows everything and I'm just going to take it. And then once you go through the choices they're actually giving you, the backup links and stuff like that, you might actually find out that, hey, maybe the machine misinterpreted something and then it's giving you something that doesn't actually apply to you, but it's worded so nicely that it feels that it applies to you. And that is like my whole rant about AI. But what I'm saying is that if you're asking AI to make a decision for you, right, it can sound very wise, it can sound very good, but when you use tarot as a tool, so I'm asking you to see tarot as a tool instead of tarot as the answer as well. When you use tarot as a tool to make decisions, you activate a different part of yourself. You activate the subconscious, something that's hidden deep inside. We don't know, but a lot of times what the choices that actually help us is our subconscious, because we already know what is good for us, but sometimes it's blocked by trauma, it's blocked by just pure stubbornness. Then the cards can help trigger to help you see what might the better choices be. So for example, this is just an example. If I'm using tarot as a tool and I pull this card, this is the 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands means that you are holding on a lot. You feel like you cannot let it go. You feel that there's so much burden on you. But the other point about the 10 of Wands as well is that maybe the person isn't delegating to other people. Maybe the person is afraid that if they let go of it, right, then people won't want them to help anymore. Then they kind of lose like their usefulness to other people, and then people won't like them. So there are so many answers of this card, actually the last thing that came out of my brain was something that I never really thought of for the Ten of Wands. It's always had been something related to, like, working hard, not delegating, but I never really had the part that just suddenly got triggered, honestly, where it's about, if I don't take all of this on, maybe people won't like me. If I don't take all of this on, then I'm not useful to people anymore. And then one day they'll decide that they'll leave me. So even I am a bit like sniff about this, because it triggers something inside me. So then that triggering, right, actually helps you, because it digs deeper inside your brain to see what sort of patterns were affecting you, and then whether you want to use that information. So for me, for example, is that whether I want to hold on to so many burden and then thinking that if I let go, people won't like me, or do I want to, um, unburden myself, or even know that if I don't take on so much, people will still love me and then I will still be accepted. So there's so many things going on just from one card, and none of this was AI. None of this was like, a computer saying stuff to you, because when the computer says stuff to you, right, then there's also like distance between you and the answer, and then you can kind of like, okay, I read it and then bye bye. But while if it's triggering something inside you, right, then it can affect you a lot more, and then it can really really hit you, and then we can really really help you when it comes to actually doing the work to make changes, or actually just accepting part of yourself as well. So here is my theory when it comes to tarot, okay? So besides the part where you interpret things, the tarot cards that we pull show us what might happen based on what is already happening now. So imagine if you're driving down the road and then you ask the tarot, will this happen or will this happen? And then based on the cards, we see which path might be more likely. So for me, the tarot readings that come out, it does not tell a fixed future, okay? So if it says, if the tower card comes up, it's the tower card is kind of like the worst card in the deck. It's about sudden changes, it's about devastation, and people see it, they don't like it. But here's the thing with tarot, the good thing about tarot is that when it shows up, what we can do, we can pull more cards and say what I can do to avoid this, so or what I can do to heal from this. So instead of feeling that the tarot readings are just there and then we're just okay, there's nothing I can do about it, we use it in a way that's beneficial, in a way that's more what century is this, 22nd century, because 21st century, because in the past people might not have the opportunity to make things happen, to make things change, but now we do. And I also believe in my own way, even though I said I'm not woo, that any path that you're choosing is the right path for you. Our Think about your life as, a book. It's unwritten, but there's kind of like some structures going around, and whatever structure you choose, eventually it will work out, okay? Unless you decide, you're just like, not doing anything at all, then that is also disempowering, because you kind of feel that there's nothing you can do against the world, and then you just give up. So that's also not what I want you all to do, okay? But there are times where you could go to someone else to ask for an answer. So, for example, if you are so deep inside this problem that you feel that you are not able to make the correct choice, then you can talk to someone about it. But instead of, going to someone, talking to them, and hoping that they give you an answer, you use them also as a bouncing, like a, like a like a reflection, like a bounce. What's it called? A sounding board. You use them as a sounding board where you say whatever problems you have, and then maybe they have a different idea of what's happening. So, for example, for me is that I actually went for career coaching like sessions, and then I was saying something that was like a bit of a limiting belief for myself, and then the other person, because they have seen a lot of different cases, they actually told me that, hey, in this situation, were you actually looking for X, or actually you were okay with Y just happening? So for me, because I was saying that I've done so much and then I really really don't like it that X didn't happen, and then they had to remind me that, you know what, you went to this because wasn't because of X. Everyone in the world might be saying that you should do it for X, but then your intention was Y to begin with. So this may be some of the situations where you can go to other people, you should go to other people, but I would say that maybe that is about 20% of our lives. So instead of just just outsourcing the decision making. We make some decisions, we think about something, and then we ask other people what they think about it. And if you are someone with very strong Libra, you might find that you tend to ask people to help, and then you might not even take their advice. But I think the tendency to ask people and then hoping that other people can help you, or hoping that they have the answer that's better than what you have in your brain. So I think that we should get rid of that. So that isn't helpful for us at all. And I do recommend that you start learning tarot so that you can use tarot to trigger your own subconscious, to help dig deeper inside in what you truly think, and also to find messages that are truly resonating to you, that are truly for you, for yourself, because it's your brain processing it, it's your subconscious processing it. Okay, so I'm Mike Q. I teach tarot for decision making. I'll see you next time. Bye.